What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Anthony Sain Show. This is another episode of the show. Here with my man, Paris Sharkey, on a Wednesday. Paris, what's going on, my brother?
Ain't nothing much, man. What it do? Got Grizzlies basketball officially, unofficially back with the preseason. So
yeah, it's official enough for me, man. They actually was out there playing basketball, so it's official enough for me. The game did not count, but you got to see a lot of things you wanted to see, man. The new offense out there. You got to see Zach Edey. You got to see Marcus Smart with a haircut, all that type of Brandon Clark back at the rehab. Yeah, it was official enough to me.
Brandon Clark shooting threes.
Yeah, shooting threes. Yeah, it was enough. Man. It was enough for me. Yeah, we'll dig into all that today for sure. In today's episode, also we're gonna go kind of backwards in time. We're gonna talk about we'll talk about the Grizzlies stuff, of course, but we'll also go back in time and talk about the preseason things that happen on both sides when it comes down to basketball, with the Tiger basketball blue and gray showcase, and also the Memphis Grizzlies open practice. We'll talk about those later on in the show. But yeah, man, for sure. The Memphis Grizzlies had their first preseason game on Monday night in Dallas. Dallas did not play Luka Doncic. They did not play Kyrie Irving. They did not play the dude, the Klay Thompson. They didn't play the dude who got the babies by Brittany Griner. Can't remember the brother's name right now.
Brittany Renner.
Yeah. I was just joking about memory lapses and remembering names. We were joking about that before the show started.
Yeah, PJ Washington.
PJ Washington. Yeah, there you go. He didn't play either. But the Grizzlies did get that win. A lot of guys got to play. I was calling for Jalen Wells at halftime, man. I got Jalen Wells in the second half. Didn't get him into the fourth quarter. But Jalen Wells going off in the fourth. Jalen Wells is a guy who I've been down for since draft day. And, of course, summer league play had people saying, oh, they should have just gave Cam Spencer a contract and made Jalen Wells earn it. Well, hey, let's see what you think now. If you can't look at Jalen Wells and tell he's a player, I don't really know what to tell you. Also, my boy Yuki. I can't remember Yuki's last name. I'm horrible with names, but I be trying to tell people.
Kawamura or Kawamura.
I don't know. He was hooping. We'll talk about all those things later on in the show. But let's jump to the meat of it, man. The Memphis Grizzlies did play the first preseason game. Let's get to the big stuff. We'll talk about all this side mission stuff later on. Ja Morant in that game. It's been so long since I've seen Ja Morant, since anybody has seen Ja Morant play basketball, that I really forgot how good at basketball Ja Morant is, right? Like, bro, like the speed that he plays with, the way he handles the ball, the way he's able to get to the basket almost at will. And it seems like he's getting even more crafty with the way he can, score. Right? The Grizzlies, of course, had the new offense. I have my thoughts on it. And I'll just say this. I like it. I really like the offense they're running. It's a lot of ball movement. A lot of ball movement, a lot of people movement.
Yeah.
Only criticism I have of it, just looking at it, is not much you can just gather from one preseason game. They've only been in camp 4 days. They learned this new offense, and now they're trying to implement it on the fly, right? Only thing that I'll say that it is equal opportunity, but doesn't mean everybody has equal ability, right? When Ja Morant's trying to make plays, hey, it looks pretty good. Marcus Smart's trying to make plays. It's all right. Desmond Bane looked a little shaky with it. But when you start bringing in, the Luke Kennards, the Santi Aldamas, and these type of guys to make those plays, it looked kind of shaky to me. I know DeMichael Cole was saying that, the offense is fine, but it's kind of taking the ball out of Ja's hand a little bit too much. And I think that what we'll see throughout the season is them tweaking the offense, that concepts of it will be there. It'll still be their base, what they do. But you'll see them kind of veer off into and making some modifications of it based on what they've seen actually working in games. So what are your thoughts on the offense? I know they had 60 points at the half, 50% from the field, 9 3-pointers at the half. So what are your thoughts on the I can't remember what their final numbers were, but at the half when they actually were playing their guys, playing their starters and heavy rotation players, the halftime numbers look really good. So what were your thoughts on, outside of turnovers, of course, what were your thoughts on the new offense?
That was my thoughts with the turnovers, but since outside of turnovers, like you said, first game, new offense. Like I said, I like the ball movement because in relation outside of turnovers, I think it was the first quarter, they made 21 shots, 19 of those shots were assisted, or the first half, either first quarter or first half. I think it was the first half because they made 21 shots in one quarter. Yeah, 19 of their 21 shots made in the first half were assisted. So that lets you know that's a lot of people moving, a lot of ball moving, a lot of catch and shoot, a lot of lobs, a lot of dunk opportunities that we saw. I think Ja and Zach Edey I don't know if it was second or third quarter, but I think it had to be second because I don't think they played together in the third. But we had the lob opportunity for that. They got everyone excited for Zach Edey's first NBA points. So yeah, I'd like the offense so far. I just think, like I said, it's new. It's gonna be tweaked going forward. I do kind of like taking the ball out of Ja Morant's hands some just for the fact that you become less predictable. Also, it kind of saves him, and hopefully injury wise, and we'll get to the next. But hopefully that helps him stay more healthy. What I would like to see more from Ja is, and we've been seeing him work on his mid range shot and all of that, but he didn't really display that last night. So want to see more of that. The bench,
and the 3-pointer looked absolutely horrible.
but I'll say this.
I said, hey, watch you shoot a million threes over the summer. And you shot 2 air balls.
I'll say this though, he looked confident taking it because that first three he like shot it, he was like backing up like he knew he made it. So at least I know he has the confidence to take it because Desmond Bane is a good shooter. He shot 1 for 8. So at least I know, okay, he was at least confident. He looked confident taking the shot. Otherwise, in the past, it was like, oh, I'm forced to take it. Okay, I just got to take it. He at least looked confident enough. So I like that idea. I liked the bench with Brandon Clark shooting threes because he shot well from three his rookie year. And it was like, what happened to that shot? What happened to his jumper changed. I don't know what happened between his rookie and sophomore year, but it was a huge difference because I remember a game against the play-in game against Portland. He had like 5 threes in that game, that rookie year. And he's been a bad shooter since then. So seeing him take 5 threes and hit 2 of them, that was definitely encouraging. And he looked just good. He looked like he was 100% back to himself overall. So yeah, shout out to Brandon Clark. Shout out to the team. They look cohesive. I think turnovers are somewhat a byproduct of first game. This is your first NBA game
against real dudes in the new offense,
right, and a new offense. I expect that at least they had the assist to combat it because they assisted on most of their made shots.
Yeah, I think the offense is fine. I like it. It's a lot of movement, a lot of movement, a lot of open looks. Just a few bad, kind of sloppy passes that kind of were, messing the whole thing up. And also, I just, it's two things I was kind of concerned about in the game though, and that's not just that Desmond Bane was making threes, but the offense seemed like it might have been a tad too fast for his style of play. Did you kind of get some of that as well? Like he didn't really look comfortable in what they were doing. Looked like he was kind of pressing a lot. He had a few turnovers, and I saw there was a stretch where Taylor Jenkins, got on him a little bit. Like got on him. That was something I've never seen between coach and Dez, let alone anybody really. But he really got on him about it. I don't know if I want to, put too much into that, look too much into that. But like I said, he's a guy that we know can knock down shots. He just seemed like he was going a little bit too fast for what Dez's normal threshold is. But I'm not really too concerned about that. But I am concerned about this. I think Zach Edey played well. He got his fouls in. He got them in for sure. I don't know if you ever seen the movie Alien, right? No, Predator, right? When Predator got cut for the first time and he saw blood. Like Zach Edey actually getting fouls called against him, right? Guy that they never called anything on in college, but he got some fouls early and often in this game. He didn't foul out, but he got 5. But we saw some flashes of really what he can do, whether that's setting screens or just blocking shots or just making guys change their mind about shots. So just affecting the quality of shots that guys were getting in the game. We saw that a lot. I think the foul thing will be fine. He's a guy who he seems to press. Like he seems to really try to come out there and, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Then he just kind of gets all discombobulated. But I think once he settles in, he'll be fine. They gotta use him though, man. They got to be able to find him a little bit.
I was about to say they especially the whole first quarter. It was like because I think that lob that Ja had him, that was his first points of the game. So it was like the whole first quarter. I did peep that. It was like I see everybody else attempting 5+ shots.
Right.
Y'all got to find a way to give Zach Edey something like at some point. Once again, I think that comes with time because you're gonna come. It's gonna come. Everything was running well last night, right? The offense was flowing well. It's gonna come a stretch of time where they're gonna be stagnant, and at that time, that's when I expect them. Okay, hey, let's run a post play to Zach Edey. There you go. So I hope that I believe that comes with time. But when you're actually flowing the way they are, like the way they were last night, I can see how it becomes hard to truly get him involved because everybody is mostly hitting their shots.
Yeah, well, we're gonna take a break real fast. We're gonna talk about more stuff we saw from last night, including Ja refusing to just sit his ass down and wanting to keep playing after he got hurt again. We'll talk about that and more on After the Sain Show. We'll see you guys in a minute.
What I'm excited to see is Dane Danger. I'm excited to see him because he has been the story. Because we know PJ Haggerty is going to give you a fair amount. Tyrese Hunter is going to give you a fair amount. But I think you need somebody else to step in and be a source of offense on a consistent basis and a switch up. And I think Dane Danger can be that guy.
To me, the biggest thing is I just want to see what these first 5 guys on the floor look like together. Memphis needed to get guys in early. They needed to start working on this early in the offseason rather than right before the season started. Penny and the staff did a great job of that. These guys have been together, good competition. Let's see how those guys come out. It's a totally new lineup, totally different look team. So let's see what the last few months have been able to put together. Chemistry is one of those things that you can kind of feel, and you can't necessarily put your finger on it, but you can feel it. Yeah. Are they working with each other or are they working against each other?
Tune into On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
This is a question I don't know if you've ever been asked. Was there anyone you ever wanted to dunk on? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm glad you haven't getting a big kick out of that one. I'm glad you've been waiting all day for that. Waiting all day to get that little jokey joke in. Oh, you got a joke. But yeah, I always wanted to dunk in the game. That's what I wanted to do. And it didn't have to be on anybody. I wanted it to be off of a missed shot, like on an offensive rebound, so that everyone's around or in the vicinity when it happened.
Did you ever dunk in practice and get overly excited?
Yes. and everybody be like, well, are you going to do it in a game? And I'm like, no.
Tune in to the Night Court Podcast with your hosts, Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight, on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to the After the Sain Show. More talking with my guy Perry Sharkey. Joins us each and every Wednesday. Like we said, the Grizzlies had a preseason game last night. Got a win over Dallas on the road. That Dallas team has some pesky little dudes that was out there too, man. You don't know none of their names, but just a horde of dudes who kind of look alike that was just doing work. And I said this yesterday, bro. I've not seen Jaden Hardy miss a shot ever. He seems like every shot I've ever seen him take. Then he looks the part. He just looks like a dude that can hoop. You know what I mean? And he's a really good player. It seems like if I watch nothing but Grizzly games, I think he's incredible. But I know that he's not that dude outside of when he plays us. But they had another guy. Can't remember his name.
Gortman. I know the guy that came out of the bench. Gortman.
He was bringing it. And they got this real tall dude who's like 7'5". I thought he was a kid.
They put Zach Edey back in the game.
Him and Edey on the court at the same time. It says about 15 feet of center out there. So yeah, that's crazy. Like 7'5" versus.
Oh, because they play against each other. They play against each other in summer league. As a matter of fact, I remember that.
Okay, but I thought is that the dude from Ole Miss?
Yes.
Because they were saying West Virginia, so he transferred to Ole Miss.
I guess he transferred. He probably did. Yeah, but he played at Ole Miss too. I remember Jamarian Sharp.
But his last run was at Ole Miss, is what I'm saying. Like he finished.
So yeah.
And they kept saying like West Virginia or something, like Western Kentucky or something. They were saying some other school.
Like he transferred. I mean, he probably. I mean, with the way the transfer portal works,
right. But like I said, man, I think Edey was fine. They gotta use him, man, because that's an easy bucket. Like there's gonna be times where you can just do simple things with him. Like I like the offense, I like the concept of the offense. But I'm not against them slowing it down and, and just getting back to plain old, give it to the biggest dude on the court, let him go score. Like, I think that's still a concept I want to see. Speaking of the biggest dude on the court, Ja Morant, of course, had a little ankle tweak going on, man. The first one, maybe it was just a Nike commercial they were cutting, man, because you got to see the zoom in of the ball in slow motion, hitting Ja's shoe, hitting his foot, you know what I mean? Then him, twisting his ankle. Then Ja limped off, with the shoes, showing the shoes off, came back heroically in the Ja twos, you know what I'm saying, showing the healing factor of those. Man, when Ja get hurt, man, it's like he just looks, it's so, I can't even put a finger on it, but like whenever he gets an injury, he literally looks like somebody shot him in his leg every time something happens to him. Then he comes right back out there and plays. And then he goes off again. He's like, I don't know if this was like, no, I'm good, or y'all ain't got to do all that, or I'm done for the night. He just kind of, he scares you with the way he does stuff sometimes. But Ja took an injury to his ankle. They interviewed him after the game. Mike Wallace is out there in Dallas. Asked him. Yeah, and he was like, yeah, I'm fine. Don't worry about it. Never some preseason stuff. Taylor Jenkins pretty much said the same. I wouldn't play Thursday.
It's like what you said with Jaren got hurt the first day of camp. It's just we saw the injury, right?
Yeah,
and it's just like it's preseason, and like I talked about ankle injuries before. We can run the take back from Zach Edey. I said during the summer that his injury, that was literally just a tweak, like a twist. That wasn't even a full sprain.
Yeah, I don't think Jaren's going to play much of the preseason at all. You might see him come in the last game. If I were the Grizzlies, I wouldn't play Ja too much either. I wouldn't even play him Thursday. Yeah, just watch.
I don't think they're playing enough.
Yeah, it's crazy because I said that too, bro. We had the show when Jaren first got hurt. I said you'll probably see this happen again. Like if somebody else gets a little bump, they'll sit them for the rest of the preseason too. Just give a reason for them to sit. But it was really good seeing Ja come back. Period. He looked really good, man. He looked good. And I think as this offense continues to gel, that they'll look a lot better as well. And he just looks mature, man. Like, Ja just don't even look like the same dude on the court. Like, he just looks like a much more settled player. And I'm down for all that for sure. I'm trying to think anything else before I get to the Jalen Wells and the Yukis of the world. Brandon Clark, man. Brandon Clark, bro. Like, if he's a guy who can get back to the guy he was before he got hurt, production-wise, do I ever think he's going to be the jumping jack big he was before? Possibly.
You were close.
but even if he's able to just score and rebound and defend like he was yesterday, especially if he can step out and knock down threes. Yep. And his jump shot form looks better than it's ever. It looks like his rookie. It looked like it looks like rookie. Shoot a little bit. Makes you wonder, was there something physically going on with him, like with his shoulder or something, but or something with his core, something, let me go on a chiropractors, man. I've been, I'm aware, you be a lion, man. You know what I'm talking about? So could be something like that. But yeah, man. Shout out to Brandon Clark. Looked really good last night. I'm a Brandon Clark stan and will forever be one of those. I'll forever be the guy that's emotionally invested in Brandon Clark. Really hope he works out. Santi had me about to throw my remote in that first half. I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
Like, you do what you normally do. Jack do
no, that's just the shots, man, that pass off the backboard. Like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's what you do.
Some of these dudes, offense is just a little bit too fast for them, man. Like, it just is. You know what I mean? Marcus Smart looked more in shape, way better shape last night than he looked at all last year. Yeah.
Which you contributed that to, like, he had just got married, then the trade. I don't know. I feel like he just had a full off season where he can.
Like he came in on some effort type stuff, like right. About to get married, and Boston traded me, but that kind of stuff, man. That dude was like the green hair Boston Celtic, bro. Like he was the Boston Celtic mascot, like for real. He was that dude, the face of the team. It's almost like if we traded prime Tony Allen from the Grizzlies. He was that dude. He was Mr. Boston, bro. And like, that we don't know what the emotional toll on that was for that man. So, yeah, I get it. I get all of that for sure. Trying to think who else had a night that I want to talk about. Luke Kennard, just insane level shooter. Like the ease that he can get his shot off. There were a couple of attempts I wish he had even taken even more threes.
That's the part. The same thing again. It's like take more shots.
Man, shoot it, bro. Like just let that jump ride, bro. We do not care. Scottie Pippen Jr. I've been saying this for a while, man, and I will stand on this. I don't care at this point what they do with the roster because there's 2 roster spots. If y'all want to give it to Scottie Pippen Jr., I don't care because he looked great last night. So, you know what I mean? I never thought he would look bad. I've never said I didn't think he would be able to do it. I just thought business-wise, you want to be smart with that contract. If you want to give him the contract at this point, you got 2 open spots, whatever, give it to Scottie Pippen Jr. He looked great. But, bro, if you don't see little Mike Conley Jr. in that dude, you don't see a poor man's Mike Conley Jr. I don't know what because I hear people say.
I see that because the 3-point shot, it looked just like
shot, the hands on defense, the way he scores.
Yes. That do remind me of Mike Conley.
He plays like a poor man's Mike Conley Jr.
He do.
And he's not. And if you think about it, bro, Mike Conley Jr. We called him the floor general. Mike Conley was not a great passing dude. Like he wasn't. He was a scoring guard. Scottie Pippen Jr. is not the best scorer, but he has so many elements of Scottie Pippen. I mean, of Mike Conley's game. He looks like a little Mike Conley out there for sure. But I think he'll be fine. I think as the season goes on, he'll get more and more comfortable knowing he's going to be the backup point guard.
I'm going to say this. I know, and like we were just talking about Marcus Smart and how he came into last season, all of that. It did look like to me, Scottie Pippen playing backup point guard looked better than Marcus Smart playing point guard last year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Marcus Smart was terrible at the beginning of the season.
Yeah,
he was
it looked way better.
He was out of shape. You could look at him and tell that he looks way better on the court than he did last year. He was heavy. He came into camp heavy. And he came into camp hurt. And I just also, man, like, you know, Boston doesn't play like that. They are a strictly half-court team. And I think for him to get here and realize, okay, I got to go up tempo. He actually got to participate in camp this year, so he sees it. So I think Marcus Smart will be fine. But it does
beg a abdominal injury last year. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Something does beg the question, man. If Marcus Smart is going to be playing off the ball, he's going to be a wing, and you're going to use Scottie Pippen Jr. as your backup point guard, right? It makes you wonder because Marcus Smart is going to get his minutes, right? It just makes you wonder when Vince and Gigi are healthy, what does that look like? Like how are you divvying up those minutes? Because if Gigi, because one of the reasons
I say this.
Go ahead.
I would say they got a while before they got to think on it.
Figure it out.
He ain't come back to December, so they got a second to figure it out. Vincent's automatically gonna slide in. He just gonna slide in place of Conchar.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be easy swap when he come back.
But you know, the minutes are the minutes, right? And like my whole thing was why I wanted to get Marcus Smart some backup point guard minutes is because that's minutes you could give to Vince and Gigi on the wing where Marcus Smart isn't playing in that position. So, but if Scottie Pippen Jr.
You know what? I think the minutes slide perfectly because the bench. Never mind. I'm forgetting Jaren in play. So that means Santi going back to the bench, which takes away Jake LaRavia. I was about to say Gigi to replace Jake LaRavia, but I'm forgetting that Jaren in play.
When we full strength, Jake LaRavia and them not playing, bro. Like there's no reason for Bruce to be out there. And Jake, he's a lot better basketball player now than he looks better now than he's ever looked.
Yeah, he looked pretty straight last night too.
But the thing is, man, like I've been saying, and I heard Chris Harrington pretty much say the same thing today on Jeff Calkins' show. If Jake LaRavia is a guy who can't knock down open threes, or that's not something he's doing at a high clip, high 30s, you know, mid to high 30s at least from three, he don't really serve much purpose on the game, bro. Like he's not, I don't need Jake LaRavia screwing around with the ball on the perimeter trying to dribble and all this type of stuff. Like, because that's just he's got to be able to knock down shots. He looks like he can defend, looks like he can rebound, but he's got to be able to knock down shots, man. If he's going to get any kind of real minutes on this team. But let's get to the superlatives at the end of the bench, man. Jalen Wells, like I said, I want to say he had 13 points. Was knocking down threes. He down a big 3-pointer, man. I'm gonna tell you something, bro. There are guys that are 44-minute guys. Then there are guys who are 48-minute guys. What I mean by that is there are guys who in those crucial last 4 minutes of the game can't knock down big shots. I can name some. I don't want to offend. I don't want to get the Grizzlies fan base in an uproar about a guy who I think is a 44-minute guy who does not hit
I know exactly who you're talking about.
I'm not gonna name a name, but a guy who does not hit big shots.
Hey, I'll take the smoke.
Wells having the balls.
I'll take the smoke.
Huh?
I'll take the smoke.
I'm in a good mood. Man.
All right.
But during this commercial break, we're gonna talk about him because when people start talking about would you rather and what would you do if, my answer is not the same as everybody else's. Well, most people's is. But well, some people, I think most people agree with me. But Jalen Wells hit big shots the other night, like last night. You know what I mean? Because there was a stretch where Jake LaRavia, God bless his soul, the Grizzlies were up, I want to say 6. And Jake took a shot that would have put us up 9. He missed it. Dallas came down. They hit a 3. Now you're down 3. 6-point swing, right?
Yeah.
If Jake had hit that 3, you're up 9. I didn't expect Jake to hit that 3. It would have broken open too much, right? It would have been such a pivotal 3.
Right.
Man, Jalen Wells hits big shots last night. Now, he had a break. He had a play where he came down kind of weak on a layup and missed that. And then he had another one that got blocked. But as far as like being a shot taker and maker, that dude has game, bro. And he can get down court. You know what I mean? And I think that when if he gets in real minutes this year playing with Ja, he could be the real deal. And I said something yesterday, and I said that Jalen Wells looks better than any version of Zaire Williams.
I was about to say he's what people wanted Zaire Williams to be.
And then of course people came back replying saying, "Oh no, man, you're forgetting about." No, I didn't forget that. But has Zaire Williams ever been a guy that can knock down shots like that? Never, and he never will.
He only had that one game against Golden State in game 2.
And Jalen Wells is showing you that's in my bag. Knocking down threes is in my bag. Like that's something that Zaire looked the part, but we never really saw him actually be a guy who can, when he takes that shot from 3, you believe it's going in. And Jalen Wells, a guy who could be a really good 3-point shooter in this league. I think he's just everything about him just says that's real. He's not just a guy.
Everything.
Yeah. He can play, man. He can play. He's a babyface bandit because he looks like he ain't got nothing but good intentions. He look like he look like the kid at your church that you would let date your daughter. He looks like a really good kid, right? Like you remember that guy that video that was going around, that guy that got a haircut and everybody was in the comments saying what he looked like. They would say he looked like the guy that asked for a sucker at the barber gave him a lollipop after he was done like
Hey, I need. I guess we're gonna get a lot more players resting, so he's gonna get time automatically. But I need to see him get minutes over Conchar. But that I'm asking for too much.
Maybe John Conchar is gonna be the Udonis Haslam we've always wanted, bro.
Right, that's right.
But he really is. No, you know who that'll probably be though? That'll probably be Brandon Clark. Brandon Clark will probably be the guy who'll be here forever. And he's older than Ja, Jaren, and Bane. So, but the fact that Brandon Clark is 28 ain't sitting well with me at all. It makes me feel like I ain't got many years left. Man, Brandon Clark's 28. But yeah, man. What about your boy Yuki though, man? The Yuki show, man.
Hey, I saw you tweet. I tell you, didn't you make a tweet say you need to go to some hustle games?
I will be at hustle games to go watch that little dude. He came in, ran the hoop, man.
He did come in, man. He came in hooping. He had to dance. He tried to do when we get to open practice later. He tried to put some little dance moves on in practice. I see him out there. He out there having fun, man. I respect it.
Man, keep that man around long as we can, man. I said that, and then people was like, I doubt that happens because he's got some international name and international appeal. I did not understand this signing at all because I knew he did have that juice like that. I don't think he's a guy who's going to be in the G League. But what I could see happening is that the Grizzlies somebody said the Grizzlies should sign him to the deal, keep Scotty on the 2-way. But I could see him possibly taking a 2-way deal with him.
How about you sign Scotty to the deal and put him on 2-way?
Yeah, because dude, I'm not just going off of the shots that he made and stuff like that. Dude he's a high basketball IQ player, bro.
Yeah,
he can play. Lil Yuki can play, bro, for real though. Like, I don't know if you want to keep him around. He's so little though, bro. And the Grizzlies, these little dudes on their team, they're gonna keep one. They're gonna keep one just for the tradition of it all, man, for sure.
Shout out to Jackie Gilliard, man.
Man, my boy Jake Gilliard, man. Man, I clowned that man Harold one time on Twitter, and that man DM'd me back tripping.
How you talk to your boy like that?
Man, I need to holler at him, man. Get him on the show. Check
in on him, man.
What he got going, man? My boy Jacob Gilliard, man. But yeah, man. What we calling him?
I know my wife called him Oscar Proud, but I don't know what we called him.
Oh man, I was calling him something that was funny.
What we called him. You checked the mess out of him for like a whole episode one time.
Whole episode. But yeah, it's one of those seasons, man. I'm ready to get Vince back, ready to get GG back. I'm ready for this thing to kick off for real. My boy Daniel Greer had the halftime show. I didn't watch the whole thing, but yeah, check that out. Daniel Greer's 9-on-1. Him and Nathan Quarles did their first show of the season. Go check that out. But like I said, the Grizzlies play again on Thursday here in Memphis at FedEx Forum. I don't know if I'm going to tonight. I might fall up in there and join. I'll see. But Gabe is on fall break, so I'm probably just gonna spend some time with him. And buying tickets to the preseason game is not on the bingo card. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see, man. I'll tell you what, Parrish, that's all I got. That's all the levels of excitement I have for that preseason game. It just came and went. But next time you see the show, we'll be talking about the pregame because we record on Thursday. Unless we record Thursday night, we'll be able to talk about it. But we'll see. We'll see where we at on that. We're about to take a break, man. We're going to talk about some of the preseason things, the preseason celebration activities at the University of Memphis and the Grizzlies do. One is called Memphis Grizzlies Open Practice. Other one is called Blue and Gray Showcase. We'll talk about those when we come back here on the Anthony Sain Show. See you guys in a minute.
Because we are still having injury issues. We've kind of vetted some of that this week on the Daily Grind with Jaren's hamstring, and it came out that it's just a low-level, low-grade strain, that opening night is not in question. And these are to be expected, right? Like, it comes with the beast. We're just, as a fan base, we're so gun-shy. We got that 1,000-yard stare. Like, war is hell, and it's been hell being a Grizzlies fan for the last couple of years.
You got the news that it's a light sprain of the hamstring, and that the quote was, opening night is not in jeopardy. But raise your hand between the two of us if that actually relieved all of your concerns.
No. It's still TBD.
Listen, I can't yet. I get it. But the difference in football and basketball is, it's like football, you expect bumps and bruises. Bumps and bruises if you're playing for the Memphis Grizzlies means 4 to 6 weeks.
Tune in to the $2 Sports Show with Rusty Witten and Drew Gann every Friday at 3 p.m. only on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
We turned down the Pac-2, 7, whatever they are, last Monday, and then Thursday. It was Thursday, right? That
folks calling for Ed Scott's job, calling him a fraud, a clown.
It's wild because my guy's been here for like 36 hours.
They wanted to fire Ed Scott,
but he addressed the situation. 25 minutes, basically laid it all out there, and there were a lot of people very upset by it and frustrated. TJ and I were the ones that I feel like we're on the side, like, hey, we know the details that made sense. We know why we said no. But after hearing from Dr. Scott, a lot of people are kind of like, all right, I get it. It makes sense. We've talked about this before. The dude is an elite communicator.
Given what you had on the table as fans, it was a bad deal.
Tune in to Tigers Untapped with TJ Willis and Trey Lasley every Wednesday at 3 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to the Anthony Sain Show. Gonna wrap this thing up, man. Talking about some of the preseason stuff, man. We're gonna go back in time for the pep rally-ish events that the Memphis Grizzlies and the Memphis Tigers put on. I'll start with Memphis Grizzlies Open Practice. I've been a Memphian for all my life. I've been a Grizzlies fan since before they got here. I've attended every open practice they've ever had, Perry Sharkey, and it's still a mystery to me how they can fill up the lower bowl of that FedEx Forum for really nothing. There's nothing going on other than moon bounces outside, a DJ outside, and they roll out basketballs and they run up and down. Sometimes they scrimmage, sometimes they don't. They was having All-Star Weekend and they joined this time in this pack. The whole lower bowl, I'm gonna say the lower bowl is about 80% full. Like the whole lower bowl was full for open practice. Were you there?
No. So I wasn't there, but of course, I have church on Sundays, and by the time it started, that's what time I get out of church, basically. And I want to give a shout out to my guys at STS Enterprise. They received a donation through the half court shot competition or whatever.
Yeah.
Just like you and Kenny used to be mentoring programs. That was the mentoring program that I was with for 5 years from 2016 to 2020. So I worked hand in hand with them. Go to church with those guys. So part of the reason I went there was because they were there.
Connect me with them too, man. I got a little couple things I'm trying to work on. Connect me with them brothers that you talking about.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, for sure. But it's just amazing to me, man. Like it's no musical guests, no rappers, no nothing. It's just
nothing.
We're gonna roll the ball out and we're gonna, and people come. Like it is, there's no massive advertising for it. I see it on Twitter. That's about it. Maybe Facebook or something, nothing on the radio, nothing on TV. And it is packed every time. It is the lower bowl of FedEx Forum is packed.
I saw Devin Walker post a picture. I think it was at 10. It starts at 12 and doors open at 11. It was like 9 o'clock. Yeah. It was like a line outside at 9 or something. Yeah.
And they do the autograph pictures. I thought I was pretty close in the line. I didn't even see an autograph picture, right? So I don't know who got them joints. But yeah, it was a great event, man. I like the way they did it. I typically almost have to see a scrimmage to enjoy myself. There was no scrimmage, but they did.
Wow.
They did. They did. What did they do? They did a scrimmage last year. They did the skills competition. Did the skills competition. That was cool. Jalen Wells won that joint. It was him and it was Jalen Wells and
it wasn't Yuki? Did he beat out?
No, it was him and Huff in the championship.
Okay, they Huff. That's right. Yeah.
They did 3-point contest, team competition. It was Zach Edey, Luke Kennard against Jake LaRavia and Desmond Bane. I said, well, yeah, Jake LaRavia looked the part, but he ain't no shooter, so y'all gonna lose. And they did. They lost to Luke Kennard and a dude who never made a 3-pointer in college history.
That's wild.
And Zach Edey, man, shot like 40-something% from three. Like he was from the corners, he was ass. But everywhere else, I think he was shooting like 50-something, 60% from three in that competition. And of course, I sat there and counted the three. I recorded the whole thing and counted and made stats of where he hit from. I'm a Zach Edey guy, man. I think Zach's gonna be good. So they did that. They did like not horse, but like what were they doing?
They do knockout or something.
They played knockout. They did the half court shot competition. They did some. Only thing I didn't like, BLJ had them to do like a trick shot competition. Like I'll tell you what to do, and both of y'all got to do it. And that was kind of but everything else was really good.
They did a little dance competition. Was it a dance competition or were they just dancing?
They do the dance competition for the rookies, but it really wasn't for the rookies because the unsigned guys like Armando Baycott went out there dancing, right? It was just it was all the guys who were actually drafted rookies plus Yuki came out there. But like I said, it was great. Always have a good time. Parking was not free though. That's the only critique that I have. And I know it's kind of hard to control that because let me say this. I parked in the staff lot, which of course is free. And I'm assuming that the actual garage was not free. It very well may have been. I don't know. Right. But I know all the lots outside of FedEx Forum, people were charging. Those are private lots.
Yeah, that's not free. Yeah.
They ain't got nothing to do with the Grizzlies.
Right.
But all in all, great event. I really enjoyed that. Now, switching over to the Blue and Gray Showcase, which is at El Marone Fieldhouse. Also a free event. Also was not heavily marketed as well. There's probably about, I think El Marone holds like 2,500 maybe in there, 2,500 seats. It was around 2,000 people there. And let me say this before you can get into it. El Marone Fieldhouse, bro, is off the damn chain, bro.
Yeah, they did major renovations in that job.
I hadn't been there since Sabrina was in maybe middle school, high school, right? When Sabrina played volleyball.
They done some major work over there.
Well, have I been since then? University of Memphis also had like a blue and gray game, like a alumni game. You remember that? It was like
I remember one. The one I went to was a couple years ago. They was at White Station though, because they had a Memphis UT alumni game that I went to. I don't remember when El Marone.
I went to was at El Marone. but Ja Morant wasn't remodeled in. That mug looked good, bro.
Yep.
Like that mug looked good for real, for real. They got a big ass screen, super HD screen.
Yep.
That was cool. Parking was free inside the garage. I don't know. It might have been FedEx Forum for the Grizzlies too.
It probably was free inside the garage. Now,
yeah, but it was definitely free in the garage at the University of Memphis. I'll say this: I enjoyed my time being there. Number one, because it was only an hour and a half, and it was the most efficient.
Thank God.
It was the most efficient Memphis Madness attempt I've ever seen. Right.
Good.
And one of the reasons why is that they came in. Oh, it was almost like they read my script, man. The script I've been trying to get them for years.
Nah, so they need to give you your credit then.
Yeah, give my credit, man. Give my credit. But nah, they had player introductions first, girls, guys, and then while they were doing that, while everybody was sitting down, the girls did like a skill competition thing, skill competition thing. They did the first round of that, right? And then the girls scrimmaged, and at halftime they did the finals for the skills competition. Then the boys scrimmaged, and I want to say they did a girls 3-point competition at halftime of the boys, or something like that. But the girls played one 10-minute half, one 5-minute half running clock, and the boys played 2 10-minute halves running clock, and it was over literally in the hour and a half.
That's quick, yo.
We was in and out. We was in and out, bro. But I will say this: I have no clue what I was looking at.
Hey, There were three dudes
that I had some idea of who they were, right? Dame Danger, I knew him. The light-skinned kid, PJ Haggerty, I knew him. And there's another dude that's a shooter. That's like Kobe something. Kobe Drake. No, this football.
You ain't know the returning player?
Oh, yeah.
Nick Jordan. The only returning player.
Nick Jordan looks like he's in 4th grade. That dude has a kid's face, bro.
He do that.
Super baby face Nick Jordan. He's gonna be good this year. He'll be a big part of what they do. He reminds me of Wesley Witherspoon for some reason. He reminds me of him. But
I can see that. I definitely see that. I can see that. Definitely.
Yeah, man. But
body type, everything. Skin tone, yeah.
Right. And I've seen people be critical of it, like, oh, it was boring and it needs to go back to where it used to be. No, it's no purpose if it going back to where it
was boring the way it was, bro. Like that young the last time I went, it was
insanely long. It was like 3 hours or something.
I left after 3 hours. And it was still going on.
Still going on. It's insanely long and stupid. And it's like the days of recruiting high school kids are over, like pretty much.
Yeah.
And the guys that you would impress with an event like this, they're playing on somebody else's team. Right. You know what I mean? So there's no need for those type of events anymore. Like the high school recruiting days are kind of, they're just not the same. And it served its purpose, man. It was an event for the students and for the diehard fans who want to get an opportunity to see the new players. They did that. And but something that should tell people who Penny Hardaway is in this city. After it was over, they had like, you can come out on the court, and Penny Hardaway had droves of people around him. The players was like, hey, we love y'all, but we'll get to know y'all as the season goes on.
Right.
Penny was still a superstar. I'm taking pictures of my kid with Penny. And, somebody, my guy, I can't think of his name, works for the Commercial Appeal. He recorded me and Penny talking, interacting, whatever. But like I said, man, I liked it. I didn't have to see a musical guest. I'm also 45. I don't know what the students at the school thought about it. But I think it was for fans. It was strictly for fans who wanted to get to see these players for the first time. But I will say this. I'm not a fan of playing at 20% speed. Like, if that's what you're going to do, just don't have a scrimmage. It's just don't have a scrimmage. Do what the Grizzlies did, because that was fine. And it's crazy because I typically don't like the stuff that the Grizzlies did, but I liked it. I don't know why I liked it this particular time.
All right, because it's scrimmage.
I don't like when they do the slam dunk contest and the rounds on top of rounds on top of rounds of 3-point contest.
Yeah.
Right. I don't
it just need to be a regular. Just
watching pros who are elite level athletes doing this stuff.
Yeah,
guys
elite shooters. Yeah, right.
I'd rather see, Luke Kennard out there than some kid that plays University of Memphis, who's the 4th best shooter on the team. You know what I mean? Like, much rather see the Grizzlies' fourth best shooter than some kid who plays for the Tigers. But I think they'll be fine this year. Dare I say, I think they'll be good. I don't know who any of these kids are, and I've never been this disconnected from the kids. But I don't think that matters, man. I think from the people who I ask who know college basketball and who know this program, been around this program, they'll tell you, man, those boys play hard. And I think that they're a team the city's going to love. And I'm down for it, man. I'm down for all that. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I think Penny's got a good thing going over there for sure. But I'm with it, man. I'm with it. Like I said, the preseasons are all about to come to an end soon. Get your tickets, man, to the St. Jude, whatever the thing is that the University of Memphis is doing, partnering with St. Jude.
Oh, yeah.
The men's team is taking on North Carolina. The ladies are taking on South Carolina. The defending national champions are going to be in FedEx Forum on the ladies' side. And one of the most bluest of the blue bloods, so blue they baby blue, the North Carolina Tar Heels will be in FedEx Forum as well. Go check that out. Man, I think this is going to be a surprising season. I think Penny's going to have a good team. No hype. And just like, like somebody put a video up showing like, how it started and where we are now, like how Penny's first Memphis managers were with the Flames and driving in. And all this kind of stuff. Yeah, dropped in from the ceiling, just a regular old wave to the crowd.
The Hardaway song.
Come in. I ain't even see Penny come in, bro. I just looked up and Penny was on the floor. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, man. I think he's locked in. He's focused. He understands this is a crucial year for him, man. But yeah, bro, that's all I got for today, though, man. It's me and my boy Parrish. I'm excited about everything that's going down. We'll see y'all guys Friday. Got a super cool guest coming on Friday on the show, man. Looking forward to this gentleman coming on. Not gonna really give y'all a teaser. That brother man had to go out of town or something. Then I'd be looking like I'm flogging or something, man. But we got a super cool guest.
That's all happens.
Right. Yeah. We got a super cool guest coming on Friday. That is not known in the sports world, not known for the stuff with sports. He is a Grizzlies fan. I know he's a Tiger fan as well. But just a great brother want to have on the show. We'll knock that out Friday. For Parrish Sharkey, this is Anthony Sain. We'll see y'all guys Friday, man, and we out.
Thank you for listening to the Anthony Sain Show. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Also, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. For comprehensive coverage of Memphis sports, head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co and find out how you can become an insider. We will see you back here next week.